Joining us now with more on this is Dennis Sandole. He is with the Institute for Conflict Analysis and Resolution at George Mason University. Mr. Sandole, it looks like we have a victory for the pro-democratic party in Serbia today. There was some fear that the Nationalist Party might win. Are you surprised?
Absolutely, Jacqueline. This is a revolutionary development, a pleasant, positive development for the peoples of the Balkans, especially for the Serbs, but also for the peoples of Europe and indeed, by implication, the peoples of the world. It's a great model for others to follow.
Let me ask you, so what does this win really mean, though? Does it mean that Serbs in general are more interested in jobs, their financial well-being, than this nationalist pride that we know has been there for some time?
Well, the nationalist pride has been rather extreme, and it's what played a major role in bringing genocide back to Europe during the genocidal implosion of former Yugoslavia during the Balkan Wars of the 1990s. So I think Serbs, at least the majority of Serbs, have come to the realization, probably a new generation of young voters, that Serbia's future definitely lies with Europe, which has done so wonderfully well to bring Germany and France together after the Second World War.
So you're saying that you can attribute this in part to this new generation that has now taken hold and is voting?
I think that is the case, and when one considers that Serbs in Kosovo were able to vote in today's elections, this is really a revolutionary development.
So let me ask you, though, in general, is the West paying enough attention? Have we been paying enough attention to what's been happening in Serbia? Because even though we have this win today, it doesn't mean that that nationalist sentiment is gone. It is still there, and it doesn't take much to get that nationalist sentiment going again. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I think the answer is no. At least the international community, as represented by the world's sole surviving superpower, the United States, has not paid any attention of significance to what's taking place in the Balkans in general, including Bosnia-Herzegovina. So I think with the new first post-Bush presidency coming online next January, that new U.S. president has got to work multilaterally with the international community in refocusing attention on the Balkans, as well as other hotspots in the world, and not just Iraq and Afghanistan.
All right, well, we've talked about the West. What about Russia? What do you think's going through the mind of Russian leaders as they watch this win?
Well, I think newly installed Russian President Medvedev should definitely be approached by his new American counterpart in January. Whether that's President Obama or President Clinton or President McCain, to work together on dealing with actors in the Balkans. Clearly, Russia has a very firm, close historical connection to the Serbs, and the Serbs appreciate that very, very much. And I think the Radical Party was looking forward to the Russian connection allowing it to win in today's elections. That did not happen. But as you rightly point out, Jacqueline, they are still 28.6% of the vote, and those constituents have got to be paid attention to.
And just quickly, will the West now be more supportive of this government now? Do you think, do they need to be? They can't afford not to show some more economic support, let's say?
I think absolutely. I think the Dutch and the Belgians who attached a rider to the recent Stabilization and Association Agreement that was signed with Belgrade by the EU on the last day or so of April, that encouraging the Serbs to hand over indicted war criminals like General Ratko Mladic and Radovan Karadzic, that these handovers are now more likely to take place.
All right, we'll be watching to see what happens from the fallout of this win. Dennis Sandole with George Mason University. We appreciate your time on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline.